Morning, mamas. This is Lori West. Hello. It's actually afternoon. I know. I say that every time. I just have about 6 minutes on my phone that I can actually record, and I wanted to talk to you about something today. I, of course, have been going through a lot of things in life, and there are times when I just get overwhelmed with feelings and emotions, frustration, anger, hurt, all sorts of things because my life hasn't turned out exactly as I thought it would, as I hoped it would. Certain things in my life or certain people in my life, aren't exactly what I expected. And I heard this quote the other day. I think it was Tony Robbins, but and some other person also, but he was talking about the difference. There's this thing called, I think it's called cognitive dissonance. I could be wrong, but there's this place in between expectations or ideations, the idealization of what we expect or wanted our life to be, and our reality. And that gap in between is where frustration lies, is where disappointment lies. So if you find yourself constantly disappointed and frustrated, take a look at your life. Is there that gap? Are you living in that gap between reality, what my life really is, and my expectation of what I wanted it to be, how I wanted my vacation to go, how I expected my finances to be, how I expected my marriage to be, how I expected my kids to be, how I expected to be as a mom, as a parent, and am I living in that gap? Or am I truly living over in this expected land? Or, am I really struggling with this reality? That gap in between, that's what I want to talk to you about. I've lived in that gap. I still live in that gap. And it's that constant struggle between what I want and where I'm at. And where the Lord has always kind of brought me back to is this question. Lori, what is in your hands? What is in your hands currently? Which means what is in your life? What is your reality right now? And what do you control? I also heard someone say once that frustration means something is out of your control. And so then you have to ask yourself, am I supposed to be able to control it? If it relates to another person, your child, your husband, your friend, a coworker, the answer is no. You don't get to control it. They control them. You control you. So if it's a frustration about somebody else, maybe they're doing something that you don't like, you've asked them repeatedly not to do it, and it's so frustrating, and why don't they get it? And they're not doing what I say, what I ask. You have to stop, take a step back, and say, what in this situation do I control? You don't control their actions. You don't control their thoughts. You don't control their opinions, their beliefs, but you control you. You control you. And in some situations, you may control things in the environment. So, for instance, if you're parenting and your kids are very frustratingly not obeying something. For example, we had this story with the towels. Every kid had a towel. Every kid had a certain color towel. So we knew if the pink towel was on the floor, that was my one daughter's. If the purple was on the floor or down the hallway, that was my other daughter's. We knew whose towel was who. Well, we inherited a whole bunch of towels when my granddad moved out of his house. And I had them, under the cabinet and in the in the hall closet, just in case we needed some extra towels. Well, the just in case became every day, and I was having to wash 20 towels twice a week because people were just, instead of hanging up their towel, were using more towels. And I asked them repeatedly, can you please not do that? I got to the point where I said, okay, well, you're going to have to wash your own towels. Well, they wouldn't. They would sit there stinky and moldy in the bedroom. So I got so frustrated. Why aren't they listening? They don't seem to care. Nobody cares about my opinions and what I'm asking. And then the realization came to me, Lori, what is in your hands? What do you have control over? I don't have control over my kids, their thoughts, their actions, their feelings, anything. But I do control the towels. So I bagged up every single towel and put them in the attic, and I left each kid with one towel, their original color for them to have. And then that way, if the pink towel ended up in the boys' room, well, you're going to have to go work that out with your brother. And it was so peaceful. I didn't have to be mad at the kids. And we didn't really need all those towels. So I just want to encourage you to take a step back. If you're feeling very frustrated with someone, something, some situation in life, number one, ask yourself, what is my reality? And what was the ideal expectation that I was expecting out of this? Where am I at in that in between? Because you're frustrated because it didn't meet your expectation. And either you have to adjust your reality to meet that expectation. Maybe I didn't work hard enough and get a project done, and I do need to work on that project a little more and get it done. Or maybe you need to bring your expectation back to meet your reality, and that brings a sense of peace. The other part is in that in between, recognizing that sometimes we can't bring that reality back, and we can't bring that expectation back, and we can't bring that reality forward. And that's where we learn to live with the Lord in that in between, to say, but God, I still trust you. This isn't what I wanted. It's not what I expected. But just like that song, I think it's Hillary Scott sings, "Thy will be done. Thy will be done." It's not what I wanted. Here is my reality, but thy will be done, God. I choose to trust you no matter what, because you're a good God. You're a good dad, and good dads take care of their kids. And even though I don't understand it, I'm going to choose to trust you. And so instead of adjusting my reality or adjusting my expectation, I adjust my attitude, I adjust my feelings, I adjust who I'm willing to put my trust in. So I guess that is adjusting your expectations. Anyways, that's what I wanted to leave you with today, is that if you're feeling frustrated today, number one, ask yourself, where is my reality versus my expectations? Number two, what is in my control? And I can guarantee you, if it has anything to do with anybody else, you don't get to control them. You don't. You can't. You may think you control your kids, but ask any mom of a toddler, 2-year-old, and what's the toddler's favorite word? No. And then they learn, I do it my way. No, because they know they are supposed to be in control of themselves, and our job as parents is to come alongside and help lead and guide them and give them choices to help them grow into healthy, wise adults. All right, I'm running out of time. There's more I would love to say on it. Shoot me a message if you'd like to, if you have any questions, concerns, prayer requests, and feel free to subscribe to my channel. I'd love to chat with you some more. All right, take care. Have a blessed day. Love you. Live well in the in